Alright. You know, Red Rock Canyon isn't a place that I typically visit ever. And for... What the We've got a more or less naked con.
Good to see you again.
Just... Oh, well, good to see you two again, baby. I don't know when we last met, but... Anyways, I can't... I mean, Red Rock Canyon is a place that I almost never, ever visit. And, you know, this is one of the few times that I'm heading out here, mainly because, you know, I'm trying to be thorough. You know, I think that it's not too uncommon. Usually, with most of my playthrough, I don't get much of anywhere.
Man of stout heart.
What the hell?
Heart. What rhymes with heart?
Oh, hey,
Maybe I
it's
should
just
write
up.
something about how much the Great Khan suck.
Fuck Benny. We'll make him pay for stabbing us in the back.
Silver what? Silver eyes?
Jerry the Punk.
Eyes doesn't rhyme. How do you spell gesticulate? What do you want?
What are you doing?
Nothing really. Just trying to psych myself up to try my initiation. Again.
Sounds a lot to me like you're not all that eager for it.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe I'm not. But what else can I do?
Seems to me you don't really want to be a con. Maybe you'd be happier someplace else.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I can find my true calling, someplace they'll appreciate my poetry. Someplace like the old Mormon fort, maybe. Do you think the followers of the apocalypse would take me? I remember all those books they brought us when they visited our tribe.
Probably. You do seem like their type.
You think so? I mean, I'd go myself, but what if they said no? The cons wouldn't take me back, and then I'd have nobody.
Well, I'll find myself out that way again at some point. I guess I could ask them for you.
You'd do that? Thanks! I mean, I'd go myself, but what if they said no? The cons wouldn't take me back, and then I'd have nobody.
So, is there anything you can tell me about the cons? You probably know a fair amount, given that you know that you don't want to be here.
I can tell you they're a bunch of big dumb jerks with no appreciation for art. I mean, can you believe their initiation?
What is the initiation?
Everybody has to do it. Well, everybody who wants to be a con anyways. They toss you into the ring there and beat on you for a solid minute. If you survive, you're in.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Sure, maybe not if you're some hulking reprobate like Regis or big to the gills like Jack. I've tried 5 times and still haven't made it.
Hey.
Hello.
Alright. Maybe... This has to be the way. I mean, I thought it was up to the north, but, if the drug lab isn't over here, then I don't know where to look. I seem to recall it being through a passage. Yep, this has to be it. I remember there being a whole bunch of trailers. I mean... I find it a little bit funny and ironic that they decided to put the drug lab inside of trailers. Keeping in mind that this game does predate Breaking Bad. So, Programmer's Digest, Rad Scorpion Poison Gland. Okay, fungus. Well, anyways, let's see if we can find the 2 people that hold this place down. Ah, here we go.
I wish there were more like you.
Oh, okay. Come on, get up, up. Jack.
Whoa, new guy.
Hey. Mind if I ask what it is you do here?
Do. We don't, do anything. We make the magic happen.
What's the magic?
We make the happy stuff. What do you need? Jet, Psycho, a little Med-X to ease the pain?
Oh. You're drug dealers.
Nah, man, more like drug suppliers. Yeah. Other folks sell them. Diane's mostly in charge of that.
Who's Diane?
Diane's my girl, man. We've been taking care of each other our whole lives, ever since our folks died. Now we keep the cons and caps together.
Well, I don't suppose you've got any work. I'm always in line to make a few caps myself.
Diane handles most of the transactional elements of this little enterprise, but I'm always in the market for new recipes if you've got the spark.
I know a few recipes for chems you might want. I could teach you.
Right on. What have you got?
You ever heard of something called rocket? And what about Slasher? I've also got another little prize up my sleeve called Party Time Mentats.
Right on. Let's have it. Grootalicious. That ought to rake in the caps. What do I owe you?
No charge, just helping out.
Right on, right on. You're a pretty hip cat.
I'm glad to have done business with you, Jack. I'm certain I'll talk to you later.
Take it easy, dude.
Accepted. Okay, Diane. Hey, Diane. Come on, get up. I want to talk to you.
Hello?
You're not one of my regulars. What do you want?
Not much, just kind of curious what it is you do here.
We keep the Great Khans from falling apart, essentially. Jack manufactures the chems. I organize the runners and the shipments.
So who do you sell to?
We make regular shipments to a lot of settlements around the Mojave. A lot of our business comes from the fiends lately. Personally, I think they're kind of creepy. But Papa likes the fact they get all hopped up on Psycho and harass the NCR patrols.
So, you're drug dealers.
We're supplying things people want in exchange for things our tribe needs. Don't judge us.
I never said you were doing anything wrong. I'm actually more interested in business. I'm looking to make a few caps. You must have something that needs doing.
You look like you could handle yourself in a fix. All right, I'll tell you what. Anders, one of my best runners, is overdue to report back. If you can find out what happened to him, I'll give you some real work.
Sure. Just tell me who exactly I'm looking for and where to start.
About 3 weeks ago, I sent Anders southeast to find a route into Arizona, to open new markets for our product. He should have been back 2 days ago, but there's been no sign of him.
All right, I'll look into it. I'll be back once I find out the situation.
Thanks. Prove you're reliable on this, and I'll have more for you later.
Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Carl's journal. Now let's take a look at what this says. Okay, let's see here. Carl's journal. This journal consists of detailed records and observations from Carl's time with the Great Khans. Many of the entries go into great detail about his opinion of their savage, barbarous customs, and at several points he waxes philosophic about how it's very likely that Caesar's legion will have to execute the lot of them. Hello?
I haven't seen you before. What brings you to the Great Khans?
Well, I'm trying to learn more about the factions of New Vegas. So, just who are you inside the Khans?
Name's Regis. I'm Papa Khan's advisor and right-hand man. I'm also the chief enforcer of the tribe's laws, so watch your behavior.
Is that so? What can you tell me about Papa Khan?
Papa is one of the best leaders the Khans have ever had. He's kept us together through all of our hardships, ever since we left California. Bitter Springs changed him, though. He started to really hate the NCR after the massacre. And sometimes, I worry that's poisoned his mind.
What do you mean by hatred poisoning his mind?
I probably shouldn't be saying anything, but it seems Papa's been making decisions based more on his desire for revenge than what's good for the tribe. This alliance with Caesar, for one thing. I have my doubts about it.
What kind of doubts?
I just don't trust the words of Caesar's ambassador that much. He's promising a lot, and I don't see the advantage for him. It makes me suspicious.
I suppose that's reasonable. What about Bitter Springs, though? I keep hearing about it.
I really don't like to talk about it. Let's just say it was a tragedy, and the NCR is to blame, and we'll leave it at that.
So then, what's your opinion of the NCR?
That's a complicated question. They've done horrible things to our people, to be sure, and I've gladly killed many of their soldiers in battle. But I can't bring myself to hate them the way Papa does. Things would damn sure be better for us if they were in charge than Caesar.
So if you were in charge of the tribe, you'd fight with the NCR, against Caesar if asked?
I suppose if asked I would, but that's a moot point, because Papa's in charge now, and he's not going anywhere.
True. I think I'll go talk with this ambassador then.
Until next time.
Carl.
Greetings in the name of Kaiser.
In the name of Caesar. Mind if I ask just who you are?
My name is Carl. Glorious Caesar has sent me as an emissary to the Great Khans as a token of our alliance.
There's an alliance.
In exchange for Great Caesar's promise of all the lands west of New Vegas, the Khans have agreed to fight alongside the Legion when the time comes.
That's a hefty offer. What exactly does the Legion want with the Great Khans?
Though they have been cruelly oppressed by the NCR, the Khans remain great warriors. The Legion is honored to have such allies in battle.
What's your role in Caesar's Legion?
I am one of the Frumentari. It is my duty to scout the waste in Caesar's name and make contact with any tribes that might serve a useful purpose. You might say I'm somewhere between a scout and an ambassador. I'm assigned here as part of the alliance between the Legion and the Great Khans.
If that's the case, what's your opinion of the Khans?
They're a tribe of fine warriors with many proud traditions and a glorious history. They will be worthy additions to the Legion.
Is that so? Well, I don't think there's anything else for me to ask. Thank you for your time, Carl.
Yes, goodbye.
All right. Papa Khan.
So the cub enters the wolf's den. What do you want, cub?
Well, I'm here to learn. Who are you?
You march all the way out to Red Rock Canyon, enter my home as bold as you please, and you have no idea who I am? You've got guts, I'll give you that. Well then, let me educate you. I am the chief of the Great Khans. The Khan of Khans, if you like. This is my tribe, and these are my people.
Oh. In that case, can you tell me about your people?
You want to hear the story of the Great Khans? It's a long one, full of honor, glory, and betrayal. We have suffered, but we will regain our glory.
Well, maybe you could give me the short version.
In a hurry, are you? Very well, then. The Great Khans came east, out of the NCR 14 years ago. We ruled the wastes then, and called no man master. But we underestimated the families of the Strip, and they drove us back to Bitter Springs, where we remained until the NCR arrived and drove us here.
The Strip? How did the three families defeat you?
They allied with Mr. House, the self-proclaimed master of New Vegas. He supported them with the resources of New Vegas. Weapons, technology, caps. They were better equipped, and we could not stand against them.
And Bitter Springs. What happened there?
When the NCR came to the Mojave, we thought they would be easy pickings. We raided their caravans, their towns, their camps. They couldn't stop us. At least that's what we thought. They tracked us to Bitter Springs and surrounded us. When our children, our sick and old, fled through a nearby pass, the NCR gunned them down.
That sounds pretty terrible.
It's because of that we have sworn to take revenge on the NCR. With our new allies in Caesar's Legion, we will crush them.
Caesar's Legion isn't everything they appear to be, Papa Khan. It may seem strange, but I would ask you to break your alliance with them.
Have you now? Well, you're a bold one, I'll give you that. But why should I do this for you?
Caesar is only using you. He doesn't actually care about the Great Khans.
Doesn't he? Caesar's representative tells a different tale. The glory of the Great Khans will be restored, and once the NCR is pushed back to California, all the land from here to the Colorado will be ours. I won't hear any more talk against Caesar or his alliance. The Great Khans will answer Caesar's call to war, and the NCR will pay for their crimes.
So be it. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Farewell.
Right. Deaf ears. I'll just get out of here now.
I heard you try to convince Papa Khan not to join with Caesar's Legion. I'd like to talk to you about that for a moment.
What's on your mind?
You want to convince Papa not to ally with Caesar, right? Trust me, you'll get nowhere just talking to him about it. He's fixated on restoring the glory of the Great Khans, and he sees Caesar as the path to that restoration.
So what are you suggesting I do?
Papa can be a stubborn man, but he's not a tyrant. He listens to his tribe, and to 4 voices in particular. Me, Jack, Diane, and Melissa. If you can convince all of us that allying with Caesar is a bad idea, you might be able to sway him.
Aren't you already convinced? If you're not, why are we even having this conversation?
I have my doubts about Caesar, yes, but I won't publicly go against Papa Khan based on nothing more than doubts. I've heard rumors that tribes who aligned with Caesar in the past were torn apart and reduced to slaves. Prove it, and I'll back you.
Alright. And what would convince Jack and Diane to support me?
You'd have to talk to them, but those two have been thick as thieves since they were kids. Convince one, and the other will come around.
And Melissa?
Ah, Melissa. She's a bit of a dreamer. Last time she was in camp, Carl filled her head with stories of serving the Legion as a speculatore. Personally, I've never seen a woman in Legionnaire's armor, so I have my doubts.
Alright then. I'll see if I can convince everyone.
Good. Oh, one more thing. Caesar's representative, Carl, has become fast friends with Papa. Carl's the one who has him so fixated on this alliance. You'll probably have an easier time of things if you can find a way to get him out of the picture.
And just how would I go about doing that?
Carl talks prettily about the honor and nobility of the great Khans, but I suspect his actual opinion is less flattering. Maybe you could find something he wrote that expresses that opinion, or trick him into losing his cool in the longhouse right in front of Papa.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
I would too, if I were you.
Okay, so slightly the wrong direction. I need to backtrack here and go up the other fork. Now, God. Back into the southern half of the Mojave, which is pretty flippin' empty compared to what I've been doing for the last many, many episodes at this point. But it's also the more dangerous part of the Mojave. This is kind of step one for... Okay, yeah, I'm headed in the right direction. This is kind of step one for doing the hard stuff. Starting off with these Cazador-infested back roads. So, what the heck? Okay. No. Okay, I can't. The one... No, the one to the left. No, not... Oh my god, what is Vats doing? Okay. Let's move around a little bit. Okay. Fine, I'll do it the hard way. Oh god, there's one up on me. I don't have any fuel for this thing. You okay, V? Alright. Let's take the poison glands off these things, because, yeah, they're worth 85, and they only weigh 1, so... If we're talking about weight-value ratio, that is in-frickin-credible. 850 times more valuable than I require, than 850 times worth their weight. So, no, what am I saying? 85 times their weight in caps. So, oh come on! Why is Vats doing this to me? What the? Come on! There's nothing like glitches in Vats whenever you're seriously relying on it. But, you know, I can manage. Especially with V on my side here. You know, she does a fantastic job. She really took a lot of, jabbings. To be honest, with how many, stings, Veronica's probably gonna get by the time I finish with all the Cazadors around here, I should call her... All Bite. Because, you know, No Bark. Oh my god, the sound from Poison is annoying. No Bark from, Novak. Well, he's been stabbed by rad scorpions a whole lot. Like normal. No Bark was stabbed by rad scorpions a whole lot. So, Veronica? Well, she's got a lot of bites. So, if she gets stabbed by Cazadors a whole lot, I'm just gonna call her All Bite. Because, she may not have brains by the end, but she certainly has lots of bite because, jeez, I'm coming out of a lot of these, fights, relatively unscathed because of her, so... Oh, that was successful. Nothing like flinging the... Oh! Level up! Alright. So, first, let's put points into medicine. Let's level out the science skill. And... okay, let's put the last 4 points into barter, just to try and round it out a little bit. And this is a perk level. Now, there are a lot of, really, really good late-stage perks, but I'm going to take comprehension, because this is something that I've been meaning to take for a while. So, there's another perk down, level 16. I'm more than halfway to the traditional level cap, and... What the... Oh! Oh, this is the Makeshift Great Khan Camp. Yeah, sure enough, this is the Makeshift Great Khan Camp. This is another location related to that comic book that came with the collector's edition called All Roads. The other location related to it being Chance's map, which I encountered, well, it should be the last episode by this point, so... Alright, so, gotta save in there. And now, let's, check my map. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so I think I'm gonna abandon the road at this point, and I'm just gonna go over, the hill here. Oh, wow. The, the engine is having a little bit of a moment, as, you can clearly see. So, anyways... I think that's the Good Springs Water Tower in the cemetery, right up, on the hill here. So... let's just hop the rest of the way up the hill here, and we'll go into what's basically Scorpion Gulch, right north of Good Springs, and we'll finish another one of these quests here.